in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, of course, instantly, one of the cameras goes a little blurry. It's fine. We don't care. You're there. Oh, now it's back. Perfect. So yeah, this is a top 16 match. The winner goes to the top 8. SV already setting up for the delayed Vits. This will be the 7th of our top 8 finishers to be determined. We've got one more that's going to be tomorrow night. It's either going to be Fractal, Eyeball, or Knight. And then we will have determined our entire top 8. On the left side, qualifying into seed number 9, it is SV Nestris, or SV for short. SV qualified in with a 1.48 million. That was the average of his best 3 games played in a 90-minute qualifier. He's got an overall PB of 5.98 million. Ranked number 14 in the most recent Premier poll. Obviously, you can see the rolling is happening. SV is a former CTM Masters event winner. That was back in January 2023. Also made it to the semis a couple times. Most recently in January 2025. Was top 16 in CTWC's gold bracket the last 2 years. And, you know, the ultimate destination for the winner of this match is in a match against Dog in the top 8. SV went out against Dog in both the CTWCs that he got in the top 16 of. Also was first in the CT UK event in 2024 and was second in the Austria event in back-to-back years. So made it to the finals in that Austria event in 2024 and 2025. On the right side, it is AkAtu. 230 here for SV, 215 for AkAtu. AkAtu gets a Tetris. AkAtu with a qualifier of 1.28 million from Finland, has a 1.79 overall PB. It's good for about 47th on the overall list. It was ranked number 22 in the most recent Premier poll. It's a ranking of the top 25 classic Tetris players. AkAtu with a future circuit win, a hopeful circuit win, and was top 4 in classic Tetris level 12 returns. That was the 2023-2024 edition of that highly prestigious tournament. And AkAtu, a keyboard roller, if you can believe such a thing exists. 288 for SV, 307 for AkAtu. The middle of his board quickly kind of, well, not becoming very friendly, so he's got to bring this down. Now, of course, keyboard rolling does not mean he pivots the entire keyboard on his lap or anything like that. What he does, he hovers his, like, I think it's index finger or some finger over the directional keys. 317 for AkAtu, 358 the Vits for SV. So he hovers one finger over the directional keys, and then instead of drumming on the back of the controller, he drums similarly on his own finger. So imagine if AkAtu, you know, were to make it into the finals. I mean, classic Tetris community would be in shock. You know, the whole thing was just crazy. His keyboard rolling, the new meta, what do we do? I don't know. But 408 for SV, one step at a time. 373 for AkAtu. Is keyboard rolling viable for an NES controller? I don't know. It's a great question. Try it. Maybe staple that down on the desk and start rolling on it. 395 for AkAtu. 411 for SV. Professor Old School with the follow. Thank you very much. Kingsman putting something. SV is the second longest reigning Tetris Friendlies champion with over 400 days as our champ. I've never heard of Tetris Friendlies, but it sounds really fun. SV setting up this sort of intentional Z or T spin tuck and gets the Z and tucks it in. It's really more of a Z tuck over in that column, because I think T would leave a gap that is not great. So There you go. SV with all the tricks, the Vits, the intentional spin tuck setups. He's got that Z spin right there. 530 for SV. AkAtu a bit bemused and bewildered at the state of his own board here as he approaches level 19. And he's bringing it down. 7 lines to go until 19. The speed is going to increase by 50%. On 18, pieces drop 1 row every 3 frames. On 19, 1 row every 2 frames. 442 for AkAtu, 602 for SV on 19. It wasn't quite a 600K entry for SV, but it's pretty close. SV gonna miss kind of try to sort of spin tuck that T over there. But that's not gonna work, so it's gonna delay him a little bit. AkAtu now with a good board after not having a good board just about 20 lines ago. Tetris for SV, 637, 487 for AkAtu. Tetris for AkAtu, 518, back by about 150,000 points roughly. The Tetris for both, and AkAtu also ahead in lines by 6. So there'll be 100 lines of this post-19 speed until we hit 230 lines, and then a new speed increase kicks in. Then they'll have 100 more lines at that speed, after which the final speed increase makes the game virtually unplayable. So 330 lines, essentially, to do all the damage they're going to do. 605 for AkAtu, 801 for SV. SV pacing a little bit here on 23. Lipton with the raid party of 4. Thank you, Lipton. Appreciate that. Tetris AkAtu 665, SV Tetris 861. So about a 200,000 point lead for SV. He's got the delayed Vits. He fills in the Vits. Last night we had a good time, even though our bracket didn't go as planned in the Sky bracket. Only able to complete 1 match. We did have some fun with the Vits off between Tyler and Blue Scooty. That was pretty fun. Also fun matches with, I think, Poyo and Tyler. And a DAS match between Giovanni and Blue Scooty. So fun times with the sort of impromptu Tetris deathmatch. 825 for AkAtu. SV 997. So if you haven't seen the VOD of that Vits match, that was very, very fun. 828 AkAtu, 999 for SV. Long bar in, max out for SV on 27. And in the aftermath of that Vits off, we did get a new patch, which is strictly a Vits counter. No other scoring counts. And the score area shows only the number of Vitses. There's a new patch for the original Tetris. I believe it's the original Tetris thing, not for Jim, but very interesting. 945 for AkAtu, B51 for SV as we enter level 29. And you can see pieces falling 1 row every frame. And AkAtu with a good low board here, but he finds himself still about 200,000 points behind. SV's board is starting to complicate because really no good place for flat pieces. So he's trying to open this up and bring this down. AkAtu also trying to just keep this low, maybe start scoring again. There's a nice long bar. SV, okay, he's going to get a long bar over to the left. B83 on dirty Tetris for SV column 2, I think it was. AkAtu's board starting to climb, and that's going to be a top out for AkAtu at 981, and SV is good in game number 1. And as soon as I find my scores, I will give the player their score. There it is. Oh, AkAtu is setting up that Vits here, so he's going to mullen it out a little bit. Deathmatch after this on God. I could do a few matches. That's fine. I don't have to if there's an appetite for it, and you know, we could do a few matches. All right, there it is. SV with the top out, the 1.3 after the aggro mullen. Okay, so yeah, if you want to contribute to that prize pool, you can do it. Use the Matcherino command on Twitch or on YouTube. That will bring up 2 links. The first one is the one for Mega Masters. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Bro ignored. What did we ignore? You know, there's so much chat, guys. How you can say, oh, he ignored my chat. I don't read every chat out loud. You know, my executive producer would be so mad. Like, why doesn't he focus on the Tetris? He's just reading chat. You know, you can't do that. Or my EP will get really mad. Oh, you said it to AkAtu. Oh, got you. Is your executive producer Kermit the Frog? I mean, that's not a Kermit the Frog voice, is it? I mean, it's got that same quality, you know, but it's not Kermit the Frog. That's McDermott the dog, right? Yeah, I don't want to get copyright stricken for Kermit the Frog. So that is McDermott the dog. All right, we are underway here in game 2. That's my actually voice? Oh, yeah, that's McDermott the dog. You know someone who works for Jim Henson Company? Oh no, and you're gonna send him to this chat? Oh no. Pumpy heart. Listen, Pumpy, snitches get stitches in CTM land, okay? 144 for AkAtu, 163 for SV. If you're in Vandy clan, Vandy gang, you got to know snitches get stitches. How many CTM matches we have today? Just this one. How many channel points for McDermott the dog voice while listing off obscure MLB facts? No channel points, okay? 0. People want to hear about Tetris, obscure Tetris facts. That's what they want to know. 233 for SV. 214 for AkAtu. $307 for AkAtu, $325 for SV. And at least in Liquipedia, these two players have not played each other, but you know, I'm afraid to open the match database and see because it's a hefty spreadsheet there. Slow the computer down. And it looks like one match has occurred. So let's find out when that was. That was in Classic Tetris League just recently, just a couple of weeks ago. Well, that is not in Liquipedia right now. That's all right. I think it'll update at the end of the season. 384 for AkAtu, 440 for SV. So just the one match between these two. It was in CTL just a couple of weeks ago. SV took that one. 407 AkAtu, 486 for SV. SV kind of pacing a little bit. You know, 100,000 points for every 20 lines is pretty efficient. And not really a bad pace here, too, for AkAtu. But, yeah, if you're at 500K before 100, it's pretty good. Oh, Trondisk wants the scary deep voice countdown. I don't even know if I have that anymore. Oh, AkAtu setting up for the delayed bits and gets rewarded with a near instantaneous long bar. $579 SV, 500,000 for AkAtu. That was on my old board, my old Yamaha MU101 whatever. My new board doesn't have quite the same scary deep voice, so. But not in Masters anymore. We got to take this seriously. You know, it's high stakes, serious Tetris. 528 for AkAtu, 609 for SV, 10 lines to go until 19. All right, long bars going down for these players. 655 SV. And both of them are going to Tetris into 19. SV at 679, AkAtu at 582. So about a 97,000 point lead for SV at transition. That is a big, big transition pace. Tetris AkAtu 664. All right, AkAtu taking this down. SV not taking this down. He's just going to wait for the long bar and get the Tetris. Okay, Tetris for SV. Tetris for AkAtu. AkAtu back by about 90,000. Lines are close. Tetris is on 22, worth 27,600. So it's about a, let's see here, about a 4 Tetris lead, a little less than a 4 Tetris lead. All right, players waiting out a little bit of a drought here. And SV got the bar. Now AkAtu gets the bar. Another Tetris SV's got the max out on 25. Tetris for both. So the 3 lines apart. AkAtu back by 140,000, 135,000 points. Something like that. All right, Sue is home. Hello, Sue. All right. A74 for SV, 958 for AkAtu. Everybody in chat, welcome Sue home. Tell Sue that our borrow says hi. All right, I think she heard it. A27 AkAtu, B15 SV. Still a 90,000 point lead for SV. And we're about to transition into level 29. The speed's going to double. Look at that. The 5 below for SV over on the right side of the board. I mean, crazy. These players are willing to do. I couldn't even do that on a slow speed with no stakes at all. So 1.2 entry into 19 for SV, and I think about a 1.1 for AkAtu. Oh, and SV's board climbing here. That's going to be a top out for SV at C34. So AkAtu now with an opening needs to get to C35, and he's got a good low board and plenty of time. So we'll see what AkAtu can do here. He's got about 90,000 to chase down. A Tetris on 31 is worth 38,400. So basically 2 Tetrises and change. Does not have to get all this by way of the Tetris. He can really just pick and choose his spots and get a lot of this down with singles, doubles, triples, and so forth. Okay, he's got about 60,000 to go. He's within 2 Tetrises now. All right, there's a nice double. And he's now within 1 Tetris worth of points with 38 lines to go. He does not have to get this by way of the Tetris. Again, he can single and double this and triple this all the way. Singles on 35 or on 36 worth 1,480 points. So you can see he's got plenty of time with just singles. Plenty of space here with just singles. And there it is. And AkAtu is going to complete the Chasedown and tie up this match. So, yeah, clutch Chasedown for AkAtu. And AkAtu just going to finish out this game for funsies and the thrill of seeing that 39 speed increase. And oh my God. You done. Oh, how dare you, AkAtu. You're going to finish that, not even get to 39. What the heck? 3-2-1 Tetris. Big pacing from SV in game 2. Couldn't withstand a clutch chase down from AkAtu. We are now here in game number 3, tied at 1 game apiece. What does the star mean in their little stats bug? That is the number of Masters events they have won. SV won one in January 2023. All right, SV with the tuck, the Tetris, and we are underway. There's one for AkAtu. This weekend, if you're anywhere near Mexico City and can get over there, get down, up, or over to the, what? How do you pronounce? Somebody tell me how to pronounce this. MONOU Gaming Center in Mexico City this weekend. There's a CTWC regional. Pumpy saying we can fit the Premier Poll ranking on there. Yeah, I'm working on an expanded stats bug, but I didn't want to do it for Mega Masters just because of the sheer quantity. I don't want to do it yet, and plus I haven't settled on what I want to do, but it'll probably include their Premier Poll ranking. Monu. Is it Monu? Monu? Manu. Monu. Monu. Ay, ay, ay. Mr. Spoopy says, man, I missed the Arizona one. I could have gotten down there. You're in Utah. You could have. I mean, you can get to it wherever you live, really. $202 from AkAtu, long bar in Tetris. 225 now, 218, and now 240 for SV. So one line apart. SV up by 15,000 points. The problem with me changing things all the time, like the score bug and the way the graphics look, is eventually I would like to try to find a way to commission like an auto-generated graphics. Like, I know that's possible, but I keep changing things, and so it just I'm never fully satisfied with how the stream looks, and I'm always tinkering. I mean, I would have to just settle on this is how it looks, because how are they gonna correct it after this whole software is built? Like, nobody's gonna want to do that. Shall not be satisfied. Yeah, that's me. I shall not be satisfied. 303 for AkAtu, 327 for SV. He's working one row off the bottom. One row. Jasmine is here. Jasmine, did you miss the Vits off last night? I don't remember your being here. Vanders, I can't make it to CTWC this year. Let me know if there's any Texas event happening. Well, I think Sharky and Mari are trying to get one going, and a CTWC sanctioned one. So that, and it would be close. It'd probably be Houston, since that's where they're based out of. And I'm still trying to figure out where. I got some things in the works. I don't know if it'll be precisely in 2025. It may be 2026. You hate Houston. See you there. Well, I don't know if I'll make it out there either. Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to get to really any live events this year at all. 365 for SV, 385 for AkAtu. Yeah, we had a Vits off last night. We couldn't complete the bracket just because player availability was an issue, to put it, diplomatically. Eyeball missed the stream. So we did some Tetris Deathmatch, and we did a Vits off between Scooty and Tyler to cap it off. So you missed it. 482 for AkAtu, 422 for SV. Oh, gonna go with the Vits, the true Vits, the improvisational Vits. Might not save any burns here with it. We'll see. But anyway, it was last night's broadcast, Jasmine, if you want to watch it. It was pretty hype, but I didn't have you here to count Vits for me, so I had to get the chat to do it. All right, 475 for SV, 540 for AkAtu. They are on level 20 now. They get Tetris into that level 20. Okay, Tetris for both. AkAtu up by about 60-something thousand. Lines are close. All right, 619 for SV, 635 now, 663 for AkAtu. So SV narrowing the gap. Oh, SV got to miss that Z-spin down the right side. That's going to slow him down a little bit. And AkAtu already in a little bit of a slowdown. That is going to allow SV to take the lead. You're on 24. Tetris is on 24, worth an even 30,000. Okay, SV setting up Tetris. AkAtu now bringing this down with triples. He's trying to have a good, safe board. Does eat up pace, but it also gives you a workable board. Tetris AkAtu 764, 897 for SV, who is really not slowed down at all. or maybe only a little bit, and is now out to a big lead, 140,000. So how quickly things can change in just a couple of levels. You know, you have 2 or 3 levels of a slowdown, and all of a sudden your opponent gets way out in front. The Vits filled in for SV. Tetris for both 902 AkAtu, 977 SV. Another one AkAtu. They're tied right now, and AkAtu back by, what is that, 85,000? Is that how that, or 75,000? I don't know how numbers work. Okay, they're into 29, A52 SV. Into level 30. SV going to miss with that Z. That's going to make his board climb a little bit. He's got to scramble out of this. All right, AkAtu there, flat burn. Both players kind of low on the board, trying to get their boards in order. AkAtu going to miss with that Z. His board's going to climb as a result and can't get anything over to the left. He's got the max out, but that is not going to be enough because SV already ahead and takes game number 2. Number 3. It goes up. There you go. Takes his second game in game 3. That's how things work. I'm not sure about what statement. I don't know what statement. What's the statement? Okay, SV mullining it out a little bit here with the 1.2, just going for a little extra practice. Got the 1.3 now. Man, yeah, that left side is done. 3-2-1 Tetris. All right, SV setting up for the Vits, or he sets up a Vits and then fills in the Vits. You don't set up for a Vits, you set up a Vits, right? The setup itself is the Vits. All right, SV filling in the middle of the board. 69,000 for SV, 71,000 for AkAtu. Would love to get that prize pool going again. So whatever you got, whatever you're able to contribute, 1, 2, 5, 10, that would be great. ctm.gg/Matcherino. Use that Matcherino command just to prime the pump a little bit, just to get it flowing. Would love to inch closer to our goal to pay those top 32. Okay, AkAtu 167, SV 167, one line apart. We're pretty much tied. And SV setting up the Vits again, delayed. There's a bar in. This is not the Vitsoff. This is actually Mega Masters. Tetris for SV 194, 192 for AkAtu. Tetris SV 240. AkAtu trying to fill in the canyon in the middle of the board. Does so. Gets a Tetris 237, 285 SV. Who won the Vitsoff? Should I I don't want to spoil it, so that doesn't matter. Rena, look at that. $10 contribution and then into that prize pool. Getting us moving again. Thank you, Rena. Very kind. All right, it's all been, you know, the pump has been primed, so you can feel the contributions to that prize pool will start coming in again. 376 SV, 331 AkAtu. Tetris says, if my controller wasn't broke in the Vitsoff, I would have won so easily. You sure, Tetris? We can do it again. We can do another one. If you want to have another Vitsoff after this match, we can do it. 400 for SV, 378 AkAtu. Yeah, there's a couple long sequences where Tetris just had Tetris problems, forgetting about Vits, right? Just couldn't bring the stack back down for a long time. Although, yeah, he is relatively cracked at the Vits. SV 469, 424 for AkAtu. Oh, Oguzhan hates the Vits. He said, no stream about Vits only. No, he doesn't want it. $494 SV. Long bar goes into the well. 518. There's one. AkAtu 499. So they're same lines, 20,000 apart, less than one Tetris. All right, AkAtu with the what? The Vists, right? the Vists. I don't know. Is that what do you call it? The square version of the Vits. The Vots? Oh, that's better. I like Vots better. Yeah, the Vots is good. All right, we're at 600K transitions for both of these players. Yeah, the Vots, right. Exactly. Yeah, what do I know? I don't know anything. All right, 640 for AkAtu, 663. I mean, how many hours are there online of me just botching things, saying the wrong thing, brain lapses? I mean, it's got to be hundreds of hours at this point of just that. It's about maybe a 2-to-1 ratio of saying reasonable things to unreasonable things. I mean, that might be generous. 693 for AkAtu. Well, you put yourself out there, that's the risk, but that's okay. All right, a skim and a Tetris for SV. Tetris SV 799. Yeah, someone make a supercut of every stupid thing that I've said, which pretty much is just all streams laid, you know, back to back. Just the entirety of every stream. Tetris SV 856, 781 for AkAtu. Tetris for SV. Another Tetris for SV. 916. He's 10 lines ahead, though. I said something about skibbity Tetris. I don't even know what that means. What is skibbity? I would never say something like that. Yeah, AkAtu with that little pullback here. That's going to lead to a couple lines of burning. 855 for AkAtu. 930 for SV. He's trying to clean up that right side. And AkAtu's got, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, whatever rows of garbage over the well that he's in the process of bringing down, but no good place for the square, so that's going to extend this cleanup here a little bit. Tetris down for SV, 972, 865 for AkAtu. We have a clip of Vandy saying skibbity Tetris now. We do? I never said that. A38 for SV, 938 for AkAtu, 100,000 point lead. SV a little bit ahead in lines. Okay, AkAtu with that T over to the right. Kind of had a different plan there, but that's okay. It's going to uncover. Long bar in, Tetris AkAtu, 980. A49 for SV. He gets a Tetris. Tetris AkAtu, he's got the max out on 28. He's back by about 68, 70,000, something like that. SV is in to 29 with a A30 something. AkAtu is in with an A59. So AkAtu back by about 70,000 points. We'll see what he can do here. Trying to get set up again. Got 100 lines to go. Tetris for SV, B93. SV bringing this board down, just chopping the entire board down. AkAtu's board climbing a little bit. It's going to bring it down. There's a nice triple. That left side for AkAtu. Dead drop of the T. Oh no, that left side. And that is going to do it for AkAtu. He's going to top out with a 1.1 million. SV will be moving on to the top 8. AkAtu will not, but let me tell you something. AkAtu really repping out, for this crazy play style, keyboard rolling. Why is there such a thing? And it's good, and it works, and it's allowed. So GG's to you, AkAtu. Really amazing to do that. What you've done. You took out Alex T in this tournament. That is insane. And to do it with this crazy play style, it is really entertaining to watch. And GG's to you. A great run in the tournament. AkAtu's path was from... He took out a couple of heavies in this tournament. Doogie in round 2 and Alex T in round 3. That is a tournament success. Obviously, everybody wants to win. Not everybody can just because, well, it's structured that way. But, to get through Doogie and Alex T on a keyboard, that's something. So GG's to you, AkAtu. You did amazing. And the rollover for SV, while we're praising AkAtu, who deserves it, SV getting the rollover and, more importantly, going to make it into the top 8. Folks, this is what a winner looks like. GG's to you, SV. You are going to the top 8. Look at that guy. I'm just going to stare at him uncomfortably until he goes offline. Hey, everybody. This is your old pal, Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly. And I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. Join our Discord server, the largest classic Tetris community online, at ctm.gg/discord, and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.